see here, Ricky. I am live in 3 minutes. I'm live now. Hello. Look at this hair. Washed my hair and can't do anything with it is no lie. It happens. It seems to be happening today. My hair is extra fluffy. Okay, let's see what I can do. Oh, good morning. Let's not look at my neck. Let's look that way. This hair in a ponytail. Because it's still going to look crazy. Okay, let's go. Oh, good morning. As you can see, my lights are coming off again. Probably can't hear me. Okay. Good morning. On bed rest still. Coming to you from the north side of the bed today again. And celebrating National Maine Day if you're in the state of Maine. I guess sort of. And also the Winter Selstice. You'll find the links down below. And good morning, Isla. Geez, I almost slept in this morning. I'm telling you, I feel exhausted from waking up. News bulletin. We again have water. After a day of no water and much noise, apparently there's a pipe way below the building. They had to dig, well, this poor woman below me, they had to dig right through her kitchen to build a trench actually through her apartment. So I hope that she's being put up in another apartment. I don't move things around. Another apartment because, like, honestly, her apartment probably, if you had to pick what was the worst, or maybe the second worst location to be, would be exactly where she is. So I think I'll put her in the apartment, which they're going to have to. I mean, it's going to take a while to fix that up. For the same amount of rent, she will be better off, even though all of her things are probably ruined. And to live here, you have to have apartment insurance. So, but even then, it's a fight ahead for her. Just living in the wrong place at the wrong time, I guess. So yeah, so we have water again. So let me see, I have coffee. I've made it. Oh, I'm still on laying on the right side bed rest. Did very well yesterday. Slept a lot though. It's really hard to do that. You just occupy your mind sometime. And watch some movies. My husband went shopping, so Miles and I watched a movie, a Christmas movie about a scarecrow, which we've added to our 20th century classic Christmas playlist, which is also down below. We did that. I went and checked out a few new different lives to see what was happening with people. There's not a lot out there. I did find one girl. Unfortunately, I forget her name. She's from Maine, but she kept her camera on all day, and I think people just wandered in and wandered out and chatted. I'll probably check her out again today. Let's see. I can't, so. Oh, Emmerdale. Of course, Emmerdale, because that Bells. I can't remember her husband's name. The villain's name I can't remember after 2 days of being convicted for 2 years for spying on her in her apartment and making her life a living you-know-what. Of course, that's all in soap opera land, but yeah, watch that. My life has been revolving around YouTube. But yeah, I was pretty good. I think for the most time, I just watched stuff to put the headphones on to cancel out all the other drilling and jackhammering. So, Isla, you're off to the Christmas fair today with your friend, I guess. Ah, that's nice to have a plan anyways. It's just really weird not making any plans because, I used to be so everything has to be an itinerary with me. Nothing's just done. So let me count how many days I'll be in bed. 26 plus 56, 76. 7 is my 77th day on bed rest. 77 days. I don't even know. I don't mind the bed rest that much. It's like I say, it's occupying the mind. And also, I'm learning things. I want to implement them, and I can't without like this, or I'm going to have a sore neck. But I did optimize a couple of videos just as an experiment and see what happens. And I tell you, if it works, I'll help you out with yours. Get yours optimized too, because you've got content that people. I mentioned yesterday that one that the girl that had it all live that I had a live and I had a legitimate medium in that combined one. She seemed very interesting and very interested in it. You have an interesting topic. It's just letting people know. Same thing, here we go with our autism thing, right? Promote. But I'm getting better. I think just from doing these lives, getting a little more confident. So hopefully that'll work. Oh, I said, my friend is at the Christmas market from 11 to 5. And it'll be a busy one today. Last Saturday before Christmas. It just seems weird to me. I'm not getting out. Of course, it seems weird. It's going to seem like it's not Christmas. Oh, I got whammed again. Armageddon yesterday. Well, Wham's Last Christmas won the Christmas #1 at the BBC. So I could chalk myself up a point for that. Yeah, time is doesn't. They say. They're not kidding when they say the older you get, the faster time goes. Oh my gosh. I think because you just too many responsibilities on your head. I'm gonna get to that age where you just start to get a child again. Or I'm at that. Maybe I am at that age. I don't know. In some ways, I've never left it. Yeah. So of course I slept all day yesterday. And 11:30 last night. Wake up. Totally slept. I'm gonna sleep now. So I tried a podcast about some woman who gave up her career, who went and married her her college sweetheart that she hadn't seen in 20 years, and he ended up cheating on her with everybody she knew, and he was a teacher at the school, including underage students. So I listened to the first episode of that. I probably won't go any further. And then I listened to another one of those finding families through DNA thing, and that was and then I realized, well, these podcasts are just keeping me awake. And I grabbed went to my binaural beat list. This is about 3, I guess. Found a nice one that, alpha waves to relax the mind and body. And I had a pretty refreshing sleep until about 4:20. And of course, I woke up and I thought, oh, I am so tired. I don't know, I'm so tired from listening to the beat or the fact that you sleep all day, you're going to, for some reason, you get sleepy. I don't know. So today I'm going to try to keep positive, a positive Bible, a positive mind. I'm going to see. I'm not going. I'm going to try to stay away from any depressing and. I haven't looked at the news. Have no idea what's going on. Stay away from that kind of stuff and just. Of course, watch Tanya. Haven't watched Tanya today. Usually I have before I come in the morning, but my sleep schedule is mixed up. So yeah, let's see. I'll do that. As much as I wanted to do these videos, do the editing of them, nope, I can't do that. I have no more work to do today. It seems really good. Really, I'm glad that I got all this. I worked so hard, from May to about September. I worked on the website a good 14 hours a day, and I'm glad I did now because, at a point can knock on wood, that I can sort of sit back and take care of itself. But I still crave to create content. That's my thing. Like, so what I do. Man, I never thought I'd have this. I'm not the type of person to have all this rest time. But yeah, I guess it is the universe. I was thinking about something yesterday. Well, when you're trying to fall asleep, I had a half brother that was basically a secret. He was a son of my father's, and I always knew that I did him. Nobody told me, but it just you have that feeling, the sort of connection, and I sort of like you sort of needed this person in your life. When I was 12, he took his life, in a violent manner, and the way that I found out this was a for sure thing that he was a real person was when I did my ancestry DNA. I was matched to two of his sons, and they would either have been my half nephews or my cousin on my father's side. And my father had one sister who had one son, and and she was about 14 years older than him. So there was no way, there was no connection there. So I contacted the half nephew and, hey, how's it going? Hey, we're really close in our DNA here, and I wonder how we're. By this, I kind of figured it out, but I didn't want to say anything. Because maybe he didn't know, right? So he says, "Oh," I don't know." I said, "Well, do you have any relatives in Saskatchewan?" Because my family's from Saskatchewan at that time. Oh, yeah. This is my father's family was this and that and whatever. So I was able to go and research this guy, and that's when I found out that he had taken his life. So now I'm in a position where this fellow that I connected I contacted. He was maybe 4, and his brother's maybe 3 when this happened. And of course, the mother remarried, and they were brought up by somebody else or a different last name, adoption, the whole bit. So yeah, so that's the dilemma. Like, do I say to this guy, hey, I know that I've been friends with you on Facebook for 4 or 5 years now, but I figured out who we are, or just leave us at be. I don't know. Like, he's probably too young. He's too young to really remember anything of his father. I know his mother's still alive because I've seen her on Facebook. Would I want to bring? Would we want to bring something up where she's older? Because he was probably 12. He was probably in his mid-20s. So it's like 12 or she's probably close to 80 years old. So do I want to bring this thing up in her life and tell her, hey, but I really would. I would like to learn more about him because I think there's always been this I don't know, this feeling of connection that maybe I wasn't the only considered black sheep in the family or something. I do know, and I went through the way I've got my information is basically through Ancestry, and at the time I had newspapers.com. So I do know that he trained horses and showed horses. And I do know he got in trouble for robbery or theft or something at one point when he had first come to Vancouver, like he was 18, 19 years old. I wonder if he came here to look for his father, he found out. Or maybe he never knew. Because, in the 1960s, you didn't have ancestry, DNA, and things like that to tell you these things. Turns out his mother was a lot older, too, like 20 years older than my father. Mind you, at the time, my father was quite young. He was in his early 20s, and I think I was right around. He was in the army when they were there, so I don't know. I don't know the whole story, but I would have liked to know the story. So I was just, thinking about that last night. It's just really weird when you as a medium you contact the spirit world and things like that. Now, what about somebody who you're related to that never knew you existed like that? I don't know. Just like to know more, considering the siblings that my full siblings, I really didn't know because they were in well, my brother and sister were in their 20s, when they left home. Okay, Ida says, my friend and I were doing a mini spirit session yesterday morning, and we heard a noise. She saw a cream carton fall from the floor from the recycle bag. It's being weird. I'm telling you, my lights keep falling down, and I'm thinking, that's what happened yesterday. Miles is with me, and Miles, my Labrador Retriever, for whoever doesn't know who Miles is, if anybody comes in here. But yeah, we're just sort of, he was keeping me company, and I was keeping him company. I was telling him about all the dogs we had. And then there was Lucy. And at that time, the little white lights I have them fell down. He turned around and he looked at it. And I'm thinking, okay. Actually, I was thanking Lucy for sending me Miles. I said, thank you, Lucy, for sending me such a fine young boy. He was being a good boy yesterday. He's getting a little better with his separation anxiety from his daddy. Yeah, he was pretty cuddly in that yesterday. But I was watching that vlogger I was telling about, the one that went live, but I can't remember her, from Maine. Somebody from Maine, if you see her. Anyways, husband cooked her some eggs. She's eating the eggs. He's sitting in front of the big TV we have here. He was so interested in that. It was funny. And then I went to I think when I left talking to you yesterday, I had the live stream of the North Pole with all the people waving and everything. I think he's looking out a big window. He was quite happy watching that. But yeah, so we had that. That's the highlight of my day, spending the time with the dog. But I think it's just going to be another slow day today. But yeah, you had me thinking about my brother and that, about, or some things best left alone, maybe. I don't know. Every now and then I'll do a little search and see, but what are you going to find? I mean, he hasn't been alive since the mid-60s, so I mean, anything online. I'm pretty good at researching, but I think I pretty well exhausted that search. Hmm. Yeah, that was. Yeah, when you're not up and doing things, and I'm in a situation that I can't be creating content, and that the mind tends to wander. I figured out these dizzy spells I've been getting too. I think what it is I'm at the point now, like I'm healing and stuff. I got stuff going on, and it's been extremely really painful. And I think I'm at the point where the tissue and everything is healing. So you got that really annoying. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, okay. So when this is happening, the pain, I tend to not even notice it. Hold my breath, and I hold my breath until I almost pass out. Then I realize, oh my gosh, I'm holding my breath. But yeah, it's getting a little. It's really getting tiring, annoying having to cope and having to run my life around this. So I'm going to continue to be a good girl and do nothing to irritate anything. Oh, I forgot the Eddie Akai's on. Here we go. Here we go with the autistic brain. Big wave surfing, the biggest wave. Eddie Akai. Eddie was a famous Hawaiian surfer and lifeguard, and every year they have a big wave. We're talking a big wave, big wave competition. It's going to be at Waimea Bay. I will be watching that. Maybe I'll even go live, and whoever wants to watch it with me. But yeah, these are the big waves. I think they're going ahead in about Sunday tomorrow. Well, there's something to be excited about, and again, the marvel of YouTube and the internet, that I can go anywhere I want. Isla says she saw a spirit of a light-colored dog in the hallway. I think it may be the spirit of a retired service dog Wendy, who was living with friends. I'm going to find out if she was. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, everybody loves dogs, loves their pets, but when you have a service pet, I don't know. It's a relationship. I think that's what it is with me and Lucy, right? Um, it's almost like they're a part. You're a part of each other. Wow. Well, if she has, at least she's there to let you know she's still with you. You know. I think all my dogs are with me. They're all waiting for me. The whole bunch of them. All the big dogs and the Chihuahua, basically. Oh, wait a minute. My Boston Terrier when I was a child. My best friend. What is that about dogs become your best friend? All that unconditional love and everything. I think now, after I lost Lucy and we had the opportunity to have Miles. I mean, I was planning. This was September, and I was planning. Okay, if I really really do well, which I didn't. I'm going to use my income tax. We're going to get a dog in March. In the end, we use the income tax to start paying off the debt. So that wouldn't have happened anyways. But it's that dream. Sometimes you need that dream. 13 years old. Yeah, Lucy was 14 years old too, eh? But yeah, I'm just looking, and my husband said, well, a lab would be good. And this, out of nowhere, this ad posted up for Miles, and he was basically the dog of the litter nobody wanted. And we know when dogs get to in a kennel, people that raise dogs, when they get to be about 5, 6 months old, it's either they find a home for them or the alternative. So I think we were all three of us were lucky to find each other. My husband, Miles, and I. But I do. I think Lucy sent him to us. Our lives were so empty. Didn't realize how much it's your baby. Your life revolves around your pet. Even in now, like Miles, our whole life revolves around him. And I don't think I'd have it any other way. To just have that, you have that companionship, and even if he is a brat. But when he's only not even 2, when he's 3, I'm sure he'll be a lazy old. We got the lazy kind of the lab, the show dog kind, not the hunting one. There's apparently 2 types of Labrador retrievers. So hopefully by the time he's 3, he's slow down a bit. Yeah, I do believe Lucy's. I like 100%, and that's what I was saying to him. And just at that moment, these lights fell down each around to look at him, and I said, "Well, there you go, Lucy." And she approves. It's funny, she was sending me one that looks almost exactly like her litter brother. My son bought Lucy for me, and he bought and then the litter that was pure black Prince for his at the time girlfriend, fiance, and it's funny she picked a little prince to send me, and not another little Lucy. I guess there's only one of a kind Lucy. But yeah, dogs bring us so much comfort. It's such a blessing. Sometimes maybe I think I should just put the webcam on him and people can watch him. But he's getting better. And now, he'll look at something and know, okay, I'm not allowed to steal the socks off the laundry or the dishcloths out of the linen closet. And he'll stop himself now before, no. And Ida says, my service dog Wendy was, oh yeah, Labrador retrievers. First of all, they're smart, but they're so soulful. They're just so soulful. I don't know. I mean, I've never seen our dogs ever get aggressive. I'm sure if my life was threatened. Oh, that one time when Bob took Miles out because he takes him out. It's still dark in the morning, and this fellow stepped up behind a bush with, I'm sure, intentions, because we live in that neighborhood, intentions to, we saw this older man, and all of a sudden this black dog's white teeth showed, and Bob says to the guy, "Ooh, you better take a few steps back." Yeah, so I mean, all we had to do is look at him. They are, well, the patient and gentleness, I'm hoping will come at age 3. But he tries so hard now. He knows when he's being a bit much. That tail though, his. I mean, Lucy was like half Chesapeake, half. I think Chesapeake. I don't know how the black lab got in there with her brother. They were like half browns and half black puppies. But we had her DNA done. She was basically half GSP, German Short-Haired Pointer, and half Labrador Retriever. I thought she had a pretty long tail, but man, he's bigger. He's got to be like 130 pounds now, and his tail is thicker. I mean, he's going to be a good swimmer. He's going to be a tail like a rudder. I just can't wait until we get a car and we can take him regularly to the river for a nice swim. Because I know that was Lucy's favorite thing. It was like, and it was our favorite thing, and we got joy out of it because she got joy out of it. Yeah. Labs are the best. They sure are. Yeah, we looked at other dogs. But mind you, GSPs are pretty good too. Miles says, too funny. Glad Miles scared the guy. Yeah, that guy will think twice about approaching. And I'm sure the word going around too is watch out for this old man with this large black dog. And he's not finished growing yet, folks. Yeah, I think if either of if we were threatened in any way, he probably just instinct he would protect us. I mean, I don't think he'd have. I don't know about me, but my husband, I don't think he would ever. I'm glowing. My shirt is like glowing. I don't think he'd ever leave his side. I used to worry about um, him running away, getting off leash or something. But I don't think he would leave my husband's side. I don't know about me. That is for sure. But yeah, it's going to be nice to be able to take him out and let him go. Can't get out and get a good run in that. We just can't. It's hard to get around on foot, especially when you're not out of bed. But yeah, I've got to look forward to the new year. I've got to look forward to healing. If you can send me an energy, please. Last night was a rough one for a couple of hours. It's just the feeling of the healing, Oh. I'm just going to concentrate on that. That's from the New Year's 2025. We've got to get this health back and get my life back and make things happen, This has been a rough year. I can remember last year saying the same thing. I can't wait for 2024 to start. But I know it's like magically the clock flips over and life's chances change here. But maybe it's all in the believing it and trying to manifest it or something. I don't know. It's about time though. 2025, please be kind. Yeah, the thing about Miles too is he's still a puppy. He's a big boy, but he's still got that little puppy brain. But yeah, yesterday he was nice and cuddly, which was nice. He just snuggled right up to me, and we watched. I think it was a cup of tea and a slice of cake. Old 1979 British comedy about a scarecrow going to a scarecrow ball. I don't know. I thought, oh, here's a Christmas show I haven't seen, so I thought I was watching anyways. But he was so entertained by this. Don't know why. I think he likes the dancing people moving around. But, yeah. So he wasn't back and forth of the window every 2 seconds, which was a good thing because it was a little bit of an extra shopping day for Bob yesterday. Yeah, so that's it. Haven't paid my bills. I gotta wait till a little later on because I don't want to pay my credit card bill too early, so it won't count for when it's supposed to be paid. So probably Monday pay my bills. Good till it's going to be a long 6 weeks. Get that GST, but that's going right against credit cards too. The whole thing is get this credit card payment down. People don't understand the parts of, when you get a disease like cancer or something. First of all, the extra cost, but also the loss of wages and things. That's just basically my dream. That's my whole dream is getting this credit card paid off. So, fingers crossed. I'm going to work hard once I can. I never had a credit card until 2016 or something. Whatever it is, I moved over here 9 years ago. Never had a credit card. And I was switching my bank over. They said, hey, I'll try it. Big mistake. I mean, like it's handy. Like you had to have one per order from Amazon and this and that. But it just gets too easy. But mind you, we probably really needed it during that year of cancer. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think you should. I don't know if you can survive without some kind of credit card now. It seems like you need it for everything you do. Um, and most of it went to Instacart. You get all these extra fees and that you don't realize how they add up. So your grocery bill, even though it's like we're living in a cost of living emergency right now, it just adds on to that grocery bill. I don't know. I just wish we could go back to like 2015 and do it all over again, make different decisions. I mean society as a whole. I'm saying let's look forward to 2025. 2025 is probably the scariest year as a society in North America, I guess, we've ever got into because there's just so much uncertainty and so much there's so much nonsense in the news and scare tactics and all this. It's I'm scared for the other people, how they're going to react, what their lives are going to. Oh, what do you got? I got to sit back here in the back row of the theater watching all this unravel because I'm not taking any part. I don't have to take a part of it. I mean, I could have very, very well been an American citizen twice. First, when I was a teenager, my father was going to retire, so my uncle bought him a hardware store in Laguna, California, because at the time my uncle was living in Monterey or somewhere Monterey. He was neighbors to Nixon, who was his friend, by the way, at the time. So he had bought my father this hardware store because they were very, very close. Um, so that he could retire and they could be around each other. Well, my father got really, really sick that year. He was in the hospital for 9 months, so all that fell through. He never went. So that was the first time I could have been an American. The second time is when we were in Hawaii, when I was starting that telework going on with the telework for the displaced sugar workers and that. I was working for About.com, and I was going from my American whatever, going through the process. And my mother got sick, so we had to come back to the mainland to take care of her. So I could have become an American. I had no intention of ever coming back and living in Canada. So I'm kind of happy right now that I'm not an American because it's very worrisome. But then again, we're skirting the border. I think you're even closer than I am, even though you're only an hour and a half away from me. You're one quick ferry ride from I don't know, near Seattle, one of those islands, maybe even Seattle. I don't know, but I don't know these places like Toronto. They're actually on the other side of. What if we decide to take that parallel back? Who knows what's going to happen? And tariffs. What if it's going to be tit for tat to the point where we want to buy something from either country is going to cost. It already costs us a small fortune. When you go buy a little bunch of grapes and they're costing you $11, that's costing you a small fortune. It's a very, very troubling time. I kind of do feel like here on Vancouver Island, we're sitting here watching this drive-in theater that's on the other side of the border. Oh, yeah. So just who knows what's going to craziness is going to come apart. in 2025. Oh my gosh. People are going to be losing a lot of freedoms, I guarantee you on that. But, I don't think they're thinking about the ramifications of some of the changes. I really don't. Of the social despair that's going to come from it. Ah, and that Elon Musk, man, that guy's like a super villain as far as I'm concerned. The best thing that can happen is when Trump gets in and say, "Ha ha, fooled you, you're fired," and get that guy out of the situation. He's gonna fire everybody anyways, isn't he? Like over and over again. It's just, I don't know. Never in my life. And I'm not a person that pays attention to politics at all. I'm just afraid for some, friends that I have south of the border, and from what I'm hearing from them and how this is going to affect their lifestyles, and also for all these, children that are going to be born that are unwanted. That's kind of scary too, because there's going to be a lot. I mean, you want to invest in something in the United States, you start investing in orphanages and homes for the unwanted child, because there's going to be a lot of them, and that's sad. Or even born into families that can't afford them. It's going to make things harder. And I'm not. I'm. It's a person's choice as far as I stand on that thing. But I'm just looking at the social ramifications afterwards, and what's going to need to be done socially for these children that are going to be born into a world that doesn't want them, basically. Yeah, and that's just one aspect of it. It's just one little tiny thing. What about the schools? Are they going to They're going to defund independent education programs. That's a lot of children that are going to be affected by that, including a lot of children with autism. I was just marvel at the abilities at that these children the children that don't fit into the square peg or the round hole or whatever they're supposed to fit into don't, that education has come this far, that this program's specifically made for them, and that's another big back step. Yeah, okay, here we're going again. We're going to go the dark side so fast. There again, see, when you start talking about the news. But yeah, looking forward to the good things. It's the winter solstice. Probably should be the longest day of the year, the shortest day of the year, longest night. So this should be my favorite day, because, boy, I'm telling you, I'm a night person. I prefer it, such the darkness of the evening. I don't know. I just feel more confident and secure. So yeah, I'm going to celebrate the shortest day. And I guess what it is a lot of societies that do celebrate. They're celebrating. Tomorrow becomes a longer and longer, and the coming back of the light and that. Hawaii is Makahiki, which goes on for months, which is a kind of a harvest festival, but it's just like one big party for. I mean, in the olden days, probably not right now, mind you. No, right now it's Christmas, and they celebrate Christmas big time there. I love it. I think in my playlist of the classic Christmas, which it's all walks. I did put one in the other day of the downtown Honolulu. I'm gonna have to watch that. I also have one I think my mom made in 1996 or 5. Maybe I'll put that on Facebook today, because I know my cousins. I have some cousins on pins on Facebook, and they're very close. I had two. I had one aunt, and my mother had one sister, older sister, and 3 brothers. 2 older brothers, 1 younger brother. But the older sister, my aunt Sigrid, um, always close to her, and her daughters always close to my mom. So they always enjoy when I put something. Mom, something. That's what we'll do today. Think of Mom, and it was the first time that she'd gotten to me. See, probably one of the few times you ever see me on video, I'll tell you. But it was the first. She got a video camera, because I had a video camera, and she saw how much fun I was having with it. So it's the first time she ever used her video camera. We went to Hawaii. There was me and my dad and my brother Gary. Yeah, so yeah, I know I'm not supposed to do much. And I got to do my stats. And I did put I have over 200 pages now in Google, so I just put my 10 pages into Google. But I want to just sort of work on the annotations. A couple of those videos with my that trip with my mom, and also that year we saw the Honolulu Marathon. So I had AI write me an annotation for the Honolulu Marathon, which I put it, which is I don't know, 8-minute clip of the finishing line. I just happened to get there as the first person came through, so it was good. So I want to see if changing annotation, if maybe it's going to make a difference on that. But yeah, okay. I know I'm not going to do much today. I'm going to do my stats, my Google insertions, and I'm just going to annotate and promote those two videos of Christmas in Honolulu with Mom and Dad. And then, of course, when I lived there at Christmas, nobody. Well, I shouldn't say that. Hawaii and Hilo. Oh, talk about embracing a holiday. But you see, in Hilo, it was very multicultural. Portuguese, Japanese, Chinese, Hawaiian, Swedish. They all came to work in the sugarcane fields. And, we blended. So every holiday, every cultural holiday from each of these places, cultures, is celebrated in grand style. That's what I loved about Hilo. It's like every weekend there was a celebration and a parade. It was always exactly the same parade and exactly the same, like Hilo High School Band, the tumblers, it was always it's always the same parade. Everybody always went, and everybody always reacted like it was the first time the parade and loved it. Yeah, definitely my place, my people. Hilo has got some of the most. When I lived there, and then we're talking 1997, late 1990s. When I lived there, there was still a lot of people had gone through a couple of tsunamis and that, and had learned what it was to come together as a community and work together as a community. And I guess also all the, the interblending of all the cultures, the multicultural side. They such a respectful melting pot. The people, the aloha spirit is so alive there. I don't know. I haven't been back, but I have a feeling. I do watch a fellow that I think it's APAUU tours, and he'll do some lives. Yesterday morning, I got to see the sunrise at the volcano, which was nice. And it seems like the aloha spirit is still alive and well, and not much has changed. Hilo's a slow moving town, and I think Hilo town itself, not much changes. Like out where Walmart and the mall and that is, I'm sure there's been, they've got all the conveniences, stores you would expect. But downtown Hilo itself it's a lot like downtown Nanaimo without, I don't know, without all the drug use and everything that's open in Nanaimo. But who knows? Maybe it's not. Maybe they have their bad boys too. Yeah. Yeah, but they were great people. A good example is my sampan tours in my Hawaii playlist. Captain Bob used to, you don't have the bus there, you have the sampan, which is an older, maybe 7, 8 passenger vehicle, like a station wagon they used during the Second World War. They had many left over. But that's how you did your socializing. You got a sampan, took you a long time to get where you're going, you did a loop, but you weren't there to get where you're going, you're there to talk story. And yeah, I've got a couple of really good sampan videos. So if you're ever bored, try them out. And we'll give you an example of what Hawaiian people are actually, or Hawaiian people, the residents of Hilo, Hawaii, are really like. And beautiful people. Go back in a heartbeat. Iowa says just like the old days when neighbors would help. Yeah, neighbors when they needed help. Exactly. It's interesting. I lived where I'm lived now for 8 years, and it seems like in my little corner I got a family with 3 children next door. Next door to him, I thought it was a dog, and then next door to me is another fellow also has autism, and he has a dog. And our little corner, I guess maybe because we lived here for so long, it's almost like yeah, it is like we're a little family and help. We do help. We don't even think about helping each other out. You know, but that is lost because I guess people move a lot and I don't know, just don't put down the roots. When we lived on the farm, well, across the street from us was a equestrian facility, and they built that while we were there. So we and my son, of course, when he was a teenager, got his first job there, helping marking out stalls and all that. So yeah, we were. It was nice during a snowstorm because he would take his tractor over and dig out our driveway and that. So yeah, we had them. They had the Grahams, and the next door to him was the old mayor. He had been mayor for to actually, I can't even remember his last name. And we were Brody's related in genealogy. Yeah, he was mayor, longtime mayor of Richmond. And then the whole rest of the area was either had been our family. The family that lived where we lived was the McNairs, but the whole rest were the Wrights. And the Wrights are actually my cousins. But at the time, I wasn't 100% sure. I caught on because I could hear them talk. Wait a minute, talking about that guy's my uncle and that. But yeah, it was after I did my genealogy, I realized you guys are my I think you're my second cousins. Okay, their grandmother is my grandmother's sister. No, cousin. Their grandmother was my grandmother's cousin. So yeah, so all this time, yeah, the whole area we're all my relatives, which is funny. But yeah, being there wasn't a lot of us, but being I guess it was still a farming like when they hayed. My son, he went in there and he helped stack the hay and all that. It's just what you do, you know. But I guess the more urban we get, and the more I really do believe the media puts is purposely they do they put fear into you, and people just don't trust their neighbors. Maybe people trust a lot. Maybe people shouldn't be trusted. I don't know. For instance, I mean that's great, but where the fellow next door with that one guy with the dog, it used to be um, drug dealers. And they weren't the best. Somewhere in my old computer, if I could just get it, I used to have a video camera, security camera in my phone window, and it would it would record all these drug deals going down, but it was always like a comedy of errors. He was the probably the um he didn't do his job well, put it that way. So then we got rid of well, they left. They had pit bulls too, which really scared me. Not supposed to have pit bulls because I was afraid for Lucy all the time. You know, we came out at the same time. But and then got rid of them, and across the hall, another woman took over for that, and it was bad. We had constantly had people ODing in the hall, and they would OD in her apartment. And she would push them on the hallway, which is right across from me. Well, across and down one, but constantly, and they couldn't get her out. They try. I think a new management, or no, this building was company was sold, and then it was COVID, so they couldn't get her out. But finally, she was evicted. But it was I got pepper sprayed open my door one day. It was scary stuff. So yeah, so then you got those kind of neighbors. But once we got rid of her, like the last few years, we've got a nice little corner community. Where we I think we will watch out for each other. I know other people in the building and that too, but it's just sort of not the sort of you know we call it our tech corner because I'm working on the web and next door he has does 3D printing, and then the next door the guy with the is a musician. He's got all this and my fellow next here with the dog, he sells stuff on eBay. So yeah, we call ourselves the tech corner. Yeah, it was terrible, but our building was sold to another company, and it's been cleaned up. Then there's be no more of that nonsense. But it was all the time, and day and night, and you didn't know who was coming in, and people sleeping in the stairwells, and people trying my doorknob. And at that time, my husband was going off to work, and try my doorknob all the time. That was weird. But yeah, I heard a commotion in the hallway and opened the door, and somebody was trying to rip off the woman drug dealer. And I opened the door, and they just happened. I startled them. Yeah, I had bear spray, so they bear sprayed me. But yes, thank goodness that's all over. And ever since, the building's been pretty peaceful. I think they not only have they doubled the rents, not mine, thank goodness. Oh, knock on wood that I'm grandfathered in. I wouldn't be able to afford here. My apartment, what I'm paying, anybody moves in now is going to pay twice as much for exactly the same thing. Or if I move somewhere else, I'm going to pay twice as much for exactly the same thing. Yeah. And the neighborhood, it is what it is. I mean, you're going to stick a. We got a homeless shelter just in the corner there. They're not going to go far, right? They're going to hang about. This is where they would come for their drugs. Now, at least the guy stands outside in front. But the weird thing is, he was like at the top of the, let's get rid of this woman. She's ruining our life. He actually sort of, his wall joins her wall even though he lives around the corner, and he was like the first, biggest one wanting to get her out. And I didn't realize because she was competition. It was only afterwards. But at least he knows to go stand out on the street and do his stuff. But I mean, like pretty well anytime. Well, not now. Maybe now. I could go and he'd be standing out there. I know his girlfriend used to before she OD'd and died. But day and night out there, standing there. Half a block from school, by the way. But as long as he's not bringing these people in the building, because that was too much. It still does bother you because you look out, you see the guy, and you know, hey, your wife died from this stuff. Like, come on. I am so grateful every day I got this apartment and and a red subsidy. I don't even know. I'm glad I didn't stay in the mainland. I don't know how. I don't know how they can afford it. I guess you just you gotta share with a whole bunch of people. I mean, yeah, the cost of living emergency crisis they call it. Every year I used to cheer for Lad Baby in the UK to his Christmas #1 because I knew all the money went to the food bank. So he hadn't competed for the last 2 years. I mean, he got it 5 years in a row. But to know, I do play his Christmas songs over and over again because I do know the money's still going to the food bank there. But I think there's a difference between people with food crisis, people in the drug crisis, and I think people in the cost of living crisis are paying dearly for people in the drug crisis taking their piece of the pie. I mean, yeah, it is tough being homeless. I was basically on the verge of that before I moved here, and I totally believe in resources and helping those at the bottom pull themselves up, give them help and that. But it just seems like a lot of what should be going to them is being thrown at trying to. I don't know what they're trying to do with this drug crisis or the mental health crisis or whatever. It's just one big mess. Oh. Of course, the homeless and the seniors. I think seniors are just totally. They're just. They're not even an afterthought anymore. You don't realize things till you become a senior. So anybody who may come across this is going to be approaching that in some part in their lives. Just remember your seniors right now because they've got the smallest voice, and I think that's why they get left behind. Yeah, but well, we'll have to sit back and see what brings 2025. As for me, it's a year I'm going to try to get this health on track. If I have to lay on my right side all day, and then tomorrow I'm going to have to lay on my left side all day because my neck hurts, and just try to relax. The pain causes anxiety. Just relax. I gotta do what I gotta do to get healthy, and I can't do anything else until I do. So, looking forward to the new year. I'm going to continue to learn. I guess YouTube is a platform you got to go on to now. I can hear people going to work. It means it's almost time for me to hop off here. So I wish you, I have a lovely day, have a lovely time, and I probably won't be popping on later on today because rest day, neck is already getting sore right on the one side, and we can't have that. We're going to get better. So you have a great day, and I'm gonna look at this hair. Woo! I have Albert Einstein hair. I have Albert Einstein hair. Albert Einstein hair, not the brain. So I'll get away from the closet, and you have a great day. And I got the wrong mouse. I'm gonna pop off. I don't have to look at my hair anymore. I can go listen to see what Tanya's done for the day. So have a lovely day again. See ya.